Hello all and welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. Just wanted to say thank you again to everyone for watching yesterday's video on my thoughts regarding the Fortune 10 company rumoured to be working with Hbar. It's done quite well and we've just ticked over the 700 subscriber mark, so I'd like to thank you all. Also would like to say, if you guys are enjoying these videos, follow me on Twitter, like and interact with the videos, drop comments. I enjoy engaging with you all and sort of listening and hearing your comments. Anyway, let's jump into this video because there's an awful lot to cover today. One of the first things to look at today will be the crypto bubbles again for the weekly performance. We can see across the board, pretty much everything is green. There's been a resurgence in the market as of late with Bitcoin up nearly 20% on the week. Hbar as well performing quite strongly, up 7% on the week. Now, some of you may be wondering why Hbar has not followed the general market of, say, over 10% on the week, and that is simply because Hbar didn't fall as hard in the previous weeks in this run up to the Ukraine-Russia conflict as some of the other coins did. It kind of shrugged it off, and as if you remember from previous videos, we were kind of at 0 to 0.1% up on the week, whereas most coins were down 15 to 20%. So take that as you will, but just know that we are performing with the rest of the market anyway. So what's sort of triggering all of this? Well, I'll cover that in the rest of the video. One of the first things I wanted to drop in this video is that the Planck Epoch collectibles on SourceSwap are now live. We can see the Gravity ones are almost sold out. Weak nuclear the same, and also the strong nuclear. So hopefully there are some spots remaining once this video goes live. So if you guys do want to get early access to this platform, take a look at purchasing one. You will need a Hashgraph wallet. That is the integration that they are using. So yeah, check this out if you guys are still interested. Anyway, let's move on to what's happening here. So one of the first things to note is that the majority of the crypto exchanges today and yesterday turned around and said they have basically refused to freeze all the Russian accounts as Ukraine has asked globally. So major crypto exchanges including Coinbase and Binance are refusing a request by Ukraine to freeze all Russian accounts, saying that doing so would harm civilians and be counter to their ideals. To unilaterally decide to ban people's accounts to their crypto would fly in the face of reason why crypto exists. Now, this is kind of what is triggering or sparking this. I did a previous two videos, the video before yesterday. I mentioned this, that we could see this global adoption of crypto being sparked by this conflict, and this is effectively what the exchanges are turning around and saying at the same time, is that they are decentralized systems effectively, and it's all about having little to no regulation and being easily accessible. That is what the crypto markets are about, as an alternative to the traditional financial system. If these platforms just turned around and did a blanket ban, then they are no different from the traditional financial system. So it's them trying to differentiate and separate the two worlds of the traditional and the future of the finance system. So as a result of that, we're seeing things like massive donations via cryptocurrency to support Ukraine. So we can see here Polkadot's founder has donated $5 million in DOT to Ukraine after they opened a Polkadot wallet. Visa and MasterCard are now blocking Russian banks from their networks after saying sanctions. So Russia obviously needed to find some sort of payment method. We can see other news from around the world. JP Morgan talking about the metaverse as a long-term viable business. Barcelona are now developing their own crypto. And we can also see the Ukrainian government and NGOs have raised $24.6 million through over 26,000 crypto donations. Not only that, some more bullish news for the crypto markets, and that is that eBay could now or soon accept Bitcoin and other crypto payments at the end of their transactional process. And this comes off the back of news that they are suspending PayPal as a payment method as well. So they are removing PayPal as a payment method from their systems, and it looks like they may be going down the route of enabling crypto transactions to take place on their platforms, which again is incredibly bullish for crypto and its use cases. So not only that, we've also seen another tweet from Blockworks. After this recent spike, Bitcoin is now the 14th most valuable currency across the globe, and we've also seen more tweets from the El Salvador president somewhere. I can't find it, but there was a tweet from the El Salvadorian president also saying that the true utility of Bitcoin is now on the main stage for the world to see. You know, it's easily accessible, it can be used for donations, it's highly liquid, and it's fast. There are also fears that, you know, this could be used to circumvent some of the sanctions being imposed against Russia. However, what we have seen over the last week or so is that Russia have taken a more traditional stance, and they have been adopting or storing an awful lot of physical gold, whereas Ukraine seems to be turning to crypto. So you've got this divide again between these two countries, and it looks like crypto is winning just because it's so much more liquid and it's helping to sustain Ukraine. We're also seeing a tweet here from Dan Held saying, why is Bitcoin surging right now? It's surging because citizens across the world are waking up to the fact you can't trust your government with the money. So I don't know if you guys have seen again, but Russia on its citizens have recently just doubled the interest rate from 9.5% to 20% to try and stop inflation. The ruble has absolutely plummeted, lost over half of its value. There is no debt that Russia can accrue from foreign investment. And the citizens are really suffering. So crypto here is a way of them trying to maintain their assets, similar to what we've seen in Turkey recently with the lira plummeting, where a lot of citizens have turned to cryptocurrency as a means to sort of stabilize the assets they do have. Here's the tweet that I mentioned previously. El Salvador, Bitcoin's intrinsic value is now in full display for the world. I've also recently just published another sort of infographic / graph. So if we plot the latest geopolitical events and the stock market reaction, we can see that the average days to recover in the last couple of decades has remained relatively low. More importantly, the maximum drawdown of such events over the same decades has been less than 5% on average. So we can see this here. It's a little bit blurry, but the geopolitical events and stock market reactions we've seen, some of the major ones since 1941 onwards. And then if we plot the graph, we can see here that the average days to recovery has consistently remained below 50, so just around about a month, and the drawdown we see has been less than 5%. The reasons for this as well are markets have been conditioned not to overreact to political and geopolitical shocks for two reasons. One is the belief that there would be no significant subsequent intensification of the initial shock, i.e. the initial shock is most of the damage, and then the subsequent days after the shock are a period of recovery. Effectively, things do not tend to get worse after the initial announcement breaks. This is that old adage of buy the rumor, sell the news. Number two, central banks stood ready and able to repress financial volatility. So through economic stimulus, as well as fiscal stimulus, they are able to kind of subdue the impact of this. These were some quotes from Allianz, the insurance company. And then my follow-up tweet to this as well was that what we are seeing in the cryptocurrency markets is a blend of economic factors driving demand. The rising price of Bitcoin and other cryptos is being driven by those unable to currently access the traditional financial systems due to the systemic sanctions that have been put in place. And this is effectively what we all know as decentralization. Anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on what's happening at a macro level at the moment within these markets and why we are seeing a resurgence. Please do be aware that this is still teetering on a knife edge. At any given point, any further interaction between Ukraine and Russia could send this spiraling back down, and we'll see another market correction. We're not out the other side of this. This is still happening. So be warned that continued volatility is very, very likely. Anyway, onto the Hbar news today. There has been another use case that I've come across. So Infinite by SUKU empowers you through a more secure, durable, and engaging way to authenticate collectibles and products, providing a platform to manage your digital closet through claiming ownership of each of your products using Hedera Hashgraph. So quite a novel use case here, but the idea being is that you can validate product authenticity and claim that you own something. So SUKU Infinite will use the HTS to securely create and make verifiable non-fungible tokens that represent the authenticity of both digital and physical products. SUKU needed a cost-effective, secure and scalable way to prove digital and physical product authenticity and ownership by brands and customers within marketplaces that require a high degree of trust. Something that I found really interesting, one of the first things I thought of when looking at this use case, is think of the automotive sector and the used car markets across the globe. So here in the UK, obviously the DVLA is the main regulatory body for vehicles. And you have a document called the V5. Now these are easily lost, just a piece of paper effectively, and that kind of declares who the legal owner is of that. Imagine in a world in which we had these regulatory bodies that onboarded with, for example, Hbar as a use case or SUKU as a platform, and you could easily verify that the person that is trying to sell you the vehicle actually owns it. You know, you could literally inspect the wallet that owns the NFT of the vehicle. So there are plenty of use cases like that, which would help prevent fraud, as well as stimulate economies through reduced frictions between transactions. So that's just kind of my thoughts on this, and it's quite a bullish use case in my opinion. SUKU will use the HTS to strengthen the trust between brands, customers, marketplace participants, resulting in financial and opportunistic benefits for retail ecosystems at scale. So like I said, it basically reduces the friction in secondary markets across the globe. Really bullish use case. Anyway, guys, I wanted to wrap this one up, keep it quite short. I have left a poll over on the community tab of the YouTube channel. I've said as we approach the 1,000 subscriber mark, slowly but surely, I'm looking to open either a Discord channel or a Telegram channel, letting you guys vote to decide which one I open. I'm leaning towards Discord, and it looks like the early poll is suggesting Discord. So please, go and have a vote over there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be releasing more information on the crypto space as well as Hbar into the future. Anyway, guys, cheers for watching. See you in the next one.